Welcome, Jordi, and thank you everyone who filled up this room and also online. I'm very happy to have Jordi with us and having made the time. It's going to be for sure an interesting conversation, so I cannot wait to jump in. Jordi, for our audience, can you tell us a bit more about your background and your role at Polygon now?
Yeah, well, my background, I'm an engineer, I'm a developer. I'm a developer since I'm 12 years old, so that's mainly my passion and what I've been doing all my life. And yeah, I'm in blockchain since 2015 or something like that, very at the beginning. And well, I was participating in many white hacking at the beginning of Ethereum, the DAO, and all times on that. But very soon I started working a lot in the zk. I was very impressed. I mean, I saw that the zk had a lot of features, especially in privacy and later on in scalability. So I start building, I mean, first learning and understanding how this technology works. So I built some programs. I built Circom and Snark.js by the time, mainly to learn how it works. Now, right now, a lot of people is using those tools. But that was my learning tools to there. And since there, we founded Ident3. That was an identity project by the time. And then we founded Hermes. Mainly, Hermes was a roll-up, a payments-only roll-up, but was one of the first roll-ups in Ethereum. And after launching Hermes, we started working in the zkEVM. I was convinced very much by Barry Whitehat at some point. We were discussing about that. And well, we started working on that, and then we joined forces with Polygon. Thank you to Polygon. Well, we could grow. We could have a good team, grow the team, and put all the resources to build this effort, this huge enterprise by the time. And been working there for 1.5 years, 2 years. And we launched the zkEVM in March, three months ago. This is a little bit the story of my life.
Yeah, thanks for that. You kind of gave us a very good summary of, in very short words about your whole journey. But a couple of months ago, you also released a documentary detailing the entire journey as it led to the Polygon zkEVM mainnet beta launch and why it was so important to you. If you were to pick, one or two moments throughout the journey that were critical or meant a lot to you, which ones would they be?
I would say I'm in general, I'm a person that I never been comfortable in working in teams, especially big teams. I mean, more in a startup moment, small teams, and very much working for yourself. Okay? But the zkEVM it's not a project that a single person can do. I mean, it's a lot of pieces, a lot of things to develop. And the most challenging was to build a team. And for me, it was very challenging because, I was not used to work with these big teams. So the moment was, we have to build a team. At that point, we joined forces with Polygon. So here we had resources. We have financial resources. So but then you need, you have the resources, but you need to build a team anyway. And then was just going to, so in order to build a team, what I did was, just take my agenda, check all the people that I've been working with, and see what are the people that you have the warranty that they are going to deliver and they are going to work in there. And I want to work good and you don't care. I didn't care if they know about blockchain or not. Actually, most of them, they didn't come. They were from different industries. Remember the first conversation, so the big trouble was, when I talked with him, whatever you know about blockchain, whatever you know about Bitcoin, just forget about it. Give me the opportunity to start from scratch. I will explain you a technology. I will explain you why this is important, how this technology is transforming. It's changing the world, and how it can change the world. I will explain you which stage we are, and then from there, you just take the decision. But I had to do a lot of effort, just try to remove from their minds the image of Bitcoin, blockchain. I mean, this is easy money or even delinquency. I mean, this that I mean, all these words that the press has, and explain them from a different perspective. I mean, explain them just a technology, like any other technology, can be used for good or for bad, but it's an interesting technology, and here we have an opportunity to improve this technology to improve the world. At the end is what we are doing. And this for me was, so these moments was being able to convince these people and making them on board and putting them to work. For me, this was the most critical moment, or the most amazing moment, especially
rewarding as well, right?
Rewarding, yeah, rewarding at the end. I mean, if you talk with lots of these people, it was a huge effort for them, because I mean, some of them were, I mean, it's people of my age. I'm like the grandpa of the as a developer. Most of the developers, they are like 20 years younger than me, but these people were very much about my age, and they had to like start from scratch very much. I mean, some of them, they were CTOs or people in good positions in the industry, and they decided to come here very much as an internship. I mean, but for me, this is a luxury, because I mean, I'm not the best team leader. Well, at least I didn't have this experience. But when you have these persons, when you're able to convince these persons, and these persons, they get to your team with the mindset of an internship, of a mindset of just learning, this is amazing, because, okay, they are doing an internship, but they are people that they could be in the other side of the table. So they help me a lot. They help me a lot in the team, the other members of the team. And this, I think that we were able to build a team that's very unique in the space, for sure, and probably in the full IT way. I mean, this is the story of the zkEVM. And regarding the documentary, I mean, for me it was very much a surprise when I remember the first day that they come, a couple of guys with a camera. I mean just professional camera there, and just, we are doing the documentary. What documentary? No, documentary about the zkEVM and about you. And you come on, but are you serious? This weird. And no, yeah, because I mean, it's just in Polygon, and it looks like, I mean, they were already hiding this documentary, and they built me documentary. And I mean, I didn't give much importance. I knew that every time that I did an event or something, these guys, they were there. They came in. But seeing in the past, I think that this documentary is good, because, okay, this is a part of the history. I mean, this is part of the history of course, it's part of the history of each individual that built this project. It's part of the history of Polygon. It's part of the history of Ethereum. It's part of the history of blockchain. It's part of the history of the technology. And this is in there, in this documentary. You see how one high-performance team is working, the mindset, the spirit that they have. I mean, and I think it's important to see there. But at the same time, it's just a point of the history. I mean, you cannot leave from there. I mean, this is okay. This is there, but it's a lot of work to do. I mean,
yeah, it was interesting also to see you go through the different stages that you described, from like building up the team to then giving different responsibilities and growing in different directions. That was really interesting to see there. If I am to pivot a bit, because you mentioned the launch back in March, which was a great milestone. Looking ahead for Polygon zkEVM, what's the next mile you're looking at? And what that milestone brings to the ecosystem?
A good example, so I like to explain the example, is that we were able to build a very good engine. I mean, we would solve very much the zkEVM. I mean, we were the prover. We were able to prove blockchain, and we prove that the proving system is not a bottleneck for scaling Ethereum, and this was proof there. And actually, all the proof, I think, it scales very much. I mean, we can, the proof works very well. But this is like having a very good engine, but you don't have but that doesn't mean that you have a very good car. I mean, you need to put some wheels, you need to put some covers, some drive. I mean, you need to build the remaining piece of the pieces. I mean, if you put a very powerful engine in a car, that's very old car. I mean, you just put the car and the car just breaks. I mean, it doesn't support that. So at this point, we are in this stage of building. It's not, maybe it's not as cool as building the engine, but it's very, very challenging too. And it's just complementing all these pieces that needs to be, to work well in order to scale. Here we're working with a very good sequencer, very good database, very good executor, even explorers. I mean, there is a lot of pieces that they need to scale to. So scaling is, everything needs to scale. It's like you want the car to go fast. It's not enough to have a good engine. It's important to have like all the pieces that support that. And well, this is, again, very challenging. And I mean, there is a lot of pieces. Some of them in our team, but some of them, for example, even in the space. From all the sharding, prototype sharding, the IP 4844. This is part of Ethereum, and I mean, they are working on that, but this is also challenging. We need to push, as part of the community, we need to push also in that direction. So, I mean, it's a lot of pieces that we are working on, but very much working about that. Regarding the proving systems, for example, one of the things that we are very excited and we are working is we call it the VATCOPS. VATCOPS is variable degree composite proofs. This is, the idea right now, a proof is very much a monolithic proof. We have a limited number of resources, number of ketchups, and so when you can prove in there is have some limitations. With these VATCOPs, you can dynamically make bigger or smaller proofs on there. So this solves a lot of, this will be possible, for example, to make, with this technology, for example, it will be possible to do type 1s and to do more compatible, more equivalent zkEVMs. Also, the performance is going to be much higher, mainly because you just pay the I mean, you're just using the resources that you really need. You don't have like a fixed amount of resources there. So we have some optimizations there, and there is also a lot of research improvements in the zk space. Yeah, here lockups, or I mean, there are some interesting things, or GKR. I mean, there are some specific papers that will make the provers much more efficient. And this is important because being able to generate proofs really fast, this opens the door, for example, to include a proof in a block. I mean, and so that and the finality here is important. So here the finality, you get the finality once you prove that this is okay. If it takes a long time, that means that the finality is worst. If you are able to build proofs faster, that means the finality is going to go faster. So the improvements in the performance and the latency, it's some of the work that we are doing internally. But I mean, we are not boring. We are not bored. There is a lot of challenges and a lot of things to do. I mean, it's like sometimes you launch and looks like, oh, you have been doing a huge effort during 2 years just to
bring it to life.
To bring it to life. But that's just the beginning. I mean, that's just the start. I mean, it's interesting because I mean, when you go from zero to something, from nothing to something, I mean, the increase is infinite %. I mean, it's a huge step. But going from 1 to 2 or from 2 to 3, it's as important as going from 0 to 1, and you need to go to this space, to this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. The work definitely never stops from 0 to 1. I would have gladly spent way more time discussing this. I think 15 minutes was definitely not enough. Just to leave our audience on a different note, what keeps you interested in the space? How do you keep up? Who do you follow, or what kind of area do you primarily interested in?
Look, this is when in 2017, I did kind of a strategy of my life, and one strategy was to bring this technology to mainstream. So for me, this technology, I'm an engineer, so I'm trying to solve real problems. That's my motivation to be here. If I don't see real people using this technology in everyday basis, I'm not gonna be happy. I'm not gonna be okay. My goal is to bring this. Of course, scalability is a must. It's an important. I mean, we cannot bring these things to the world if this doesn't scale.
That's what we're all here for, right?
Yeah, but there is many other things to do. I mean, usability. I mean, we're talking about security. There is a lot of challenges that this space still needs to solve, and there is a lot of improvements, a lot of works to do until this technology raises masses. It's not going to be a trigger. It's one day nobody uses, next day everybody's going to use it. Probably it's going to be
the incremental marginal increases that we do along the way.
But that means that you need to work. I mean, the industry needs to work every day, each one in each parcel, to improve and to bring this technology and to resolve real problems. That's why, as an engineer, this is my only motivation.
Yeah, I think that's something we can definitely all stand behind. But Jordi, thank you really much for coming today. It was really great talking to you. And yeah, I'm sure like you're open to, once we get off stage, many people will have more questions, but we can take that on as we exit. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Jordi. Thank you, Theodoros. Thank you.